had an experience one time where I ended up getting locked up. Grew up in a real religious family, you know, my uncle's a priest. One of us was supposed to be a priest, but I always, wanted more, a closer relationship than they could really offer me at church. So I left when I was young, left the church and went on my own kind of path and found Rasta. And it made more sense to me, a personal kind of religion, a way of life, we call it, rather than a religion. Did a lot of fasting for years, and one year I was really ready for something special to happen. Got a hold of a big bag of mushrooms, and we just split them, and we went our separate ways. Now he went and had a bad night. He went to his parents' house, and he went to a safe, so-called safe environment, and had a horrible night. Just being paranoid. Me, I went to a park, a spot where I would meditate, and I grabbed the tree. Then a vegetarian, so I'd been thinking for a long time about some kind of unity, oneness, with everything, with creation, and just gave it a big hug. I still feel like that's the moment when I was born again. It's not a decision I made. Something I prayed for a long time. It was years and years of, discipline. And as soon as I let go of the tree, I couldn't figure out why I had these rags on. At first, I dropped my jacket and my shirt, and I just took off walking. I left my car, and I sat down, took my pants off, and I had all my money, 2 nights of pay, my ID, everything. I prayed for Christ to do something with my life. I felt like I finally got out of the way so he could use me. I remembered a line like, "The watchman of God never sleeps." And I felt like I was on duty. And I walked by my girlfriend's house too. Told her to wake up. I said, "Wake up and live." I borrowed one of Bob Marley's lines. I looked across the street and I saw, to me, what I saw, a werewolf dressed like a bad lady.
Oh my God.
I got a real strong feeling like I was in a drama. And there was a script, and all these characters from the script were coming out of the woodwork. I mean, this is after years and years of reading the Bible, and I'm not saying that there was an actual beast there, but that's what I saw. It was supposed to be scary, but all I could do was laugh. And we both stopped and looked at each other, and what I recognized was everything pitiful, everything depressing, the whole world, everything sad, evil, everything, it was embodied right there. And then I looked at it and I just laughed out loud. I said, "You're just a bag lady." And it just turned and walked real fast. The car just darted out and sort of, he's at an intersection. It seemed like he tried to run me over. I started speaking to him, but it didn't come out English. It was like a mixture of some Spanish, some scat singing, some English, maybe some Irish before I ever even studied it. A lot of stuff came out. It was a language I never heard. And another car comes behind me and lunges sort of at me. And he blocked me and he rolled his window down, and I looked and it was still a blur. And then the face came into focus and it was James Cagney. He goes, "You ain't got a goddamn stitch of clothes on." I didn't have any clothes on, I just felt I was full of joy. I didn't have any kind of anger. I wasn't mad. I couldn't even be mad if I tried. This guy, to me, he felt like the devil. Felt like a drama, and I said, "Get out of here, Cagney." Like I just had to say my lines. And I just said, "Get out of here, Cagney." And he took off. And the next minute, I got surrounded by police. I was real polite and calm. And the funny thing is, Emile, I told him every detail. I told him where I left every article of clothing. Told him my name, all of my numbers. Told him exactly what was in my wallet. And and I'm supposed to be a guy who's hallucinating. Yeah, who's nuts. I mean, that's what they arrested me for. It was a 5150. They chained me onto a bed. The doctors wanted to medicate me, and they said, well, one of the questions they asked me was, "Do you hear God's voice? Does God talk to you?" And I said, "Well, yeah. Doesn't he talk to you?" And he goes, "Well, what does it sound like? What does he say?" I go, you want to know what he says to me? He goes, yeah, what is he? I said, doom, 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 doom. Do 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 da 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 da. So they didn't medicate me. I got away without being medicated. When I said earlier, I don't even know if I want to talk about this. That's why a lot, you know, after getting locked up, I realized I'm not gonna make much of a difference, you know, locked up.
I saw that constantly. Right outside of my gate, this guy wanted his money, so he pushes the guy. The guy is totally out of it, has no money, of course. So the guy just lifts up his foot and crushes his head, you know, and like a whole big old puddle of blood. And basically my exposure to it was definitely negative. It wasn't the romantic view of drugs. My mom, she told all her children is, if you ever got caught in jail, you know, I'm not going to take you out. And I knew that happened to one of my brothers. So I know she wasn't joking. The reason that I took it was really to see what it was. There's tons of reasons why people don't want it, but most of the people are influenced by the media and the top people in charge, so that I don't think they get a chance to think for themselves about these issues.